You're here with Dominic Ciambroni, also known as the Shoe Surgeon, here live on Taboo's Comics and Kicks.
Hola amigos, welcome to an amazing episode of Taboo's Comics and Kicks. So usually we have actors and actresses and, amazing people that have been part of our childhood. The guest I have today, I'm very honored to call a friend. I got to meet this man, got to know him as a person. I've always been enamored by his talent and his grace and his genius, but to get to meet him one-on-one and get to know him as a person, as an individual, has been nothing but love. I have ultimate appreciation for him. I'm going to go into a little bit of his background. So this man started his creative insight behind the scenes doing photo, video, and digital projects before he got to have the world know this man. This man is obsessed with branding and storytelling, studying how creators and culture influence perception. This guy's from Santa Rosa, California, the Bay.
Not the Bay.
You probably have seen his work on many artists, many celebrities, many athletes. This man is an icon already in the making. I'm proud to call him my brother. He is the man that we all call the Shoe Surgeon. Let's make some noise for Dominic. I don't want to fuck it up. Ciambroni?
Some call it jabroni.
Ciambroni.
Some say jabroni, Ciambroni.
Ciambroni? How do we say it?
Ciambroni.
Ciambroni! Give it up for Dom Ciambroni! I just know him as my brother, Dom.
My brother Dom.
Brother Dom.
Brother Dom.
Brother Dom.
It's like a pastor. Brother Dom. You know Brother
Brother
Dom?
Dom. That's my brother.
I've never been welcomed into my own house like that. I love that.
How odd does this feel right now, being a guest in your own home?
It's very unique and it's surreal.
First of all, I want to say thank you. You've opened your doors to us a long time ago and let us change the game. Has become a staple in your own house. And we appreciate you for that. And thank you for welcoming us in here and letting us use your beautiful space. Everybody comes in here and, like you said, they're enamored by your art and your work that you do. So
yeah, of course.
Yeah, so we appreciate that.
I'll double down on that and say your humility is second to none. Just knowing you're an even-keeled person. You're always the same inspiring person that when I walk in the room and I see you, it always like motivates me. I remember sharing this Angry Foot project with you and just having that conversation. That was the first time we had a cool back and forth banter.
Yeah, that was a really cool experience.
Yeah, man, because like your genius is definitely we take it to the heart, and to have your feedback on something that I've been working on for a long time like that, it meant a lot to me. So thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you. I mean, sharing your art like that is a vulnerable thing, and it's it's kind of hard to do. So
yeah,
it was really cool to see what you're doing and to see where you're going to take it.
Yeah, man. This place is such a creative campus. I call it a campus because when you walk in, you have this basketball court, you have this freaking, folks working on shoes and clothing and, all these designs. I want to start the episode with something to break the ice. I don't know if you're down with this, but I want to.
You gotta be down.
I gotta run this by you, Dom.
Let's do it.
Rock a verse. It could be a rap. It could be a couple of lines of a song that really inspire you. It could be a melody. It could be a hook. Something that speaks to you right now and that has been resonating with you. Close your eyes and do it, bro.
Yeah. Hickory dickory dock.
Yep.
The mouse was up the clock.
Yep.
Ghost cowboy on the top. And now we back.
I love it. Let's go. That was the first time I heard Hickory Dickory Dock on the show.
Yeah. I thought he was going to go like Tupac or something, but he went Hickory Dickory.
I thought he was going with Andrew Dice Clay.
Oh.
Right? I thought it was an Andrew Dice Clay bit.
That's where it came from.
That's dope. I love that, bro.
My dad gave me that one.
Hickory Dickory
Shout out to
Dock.
Pops.
Oh, man. Let's start with your humble beginnings.
Where's your verse?
Oh, my verse?
You didn't kick a verse?
All right, so I'm going to kick a song.
Yeah.
I'm going to kick a hook of a song.
You know how to do this?
Say it ain't so, I will not go. Carry me, right?
Yeah.
La 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 la. Oh, turn the lights low. Carry me, la 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 la. All the Small things. Blink 182.
And Blink 182.
Yeah.
You got Mateo really
It was
excited.
something different, bro.
I've never seen him so
San
happy.
Diego. Yo, shout out to Blink 182, bro. I wanted to do something different. I'm always over here kicking raps. Bro, I'm a Blink 182 fan too. Shout out to the Warped Tour and Blink 182 and all the people in San Diego. Let's start off with Dom's humble beginnings, because I heard a story about the ones, the Jordan ones, you in school with the Jordan ones. Tell us about that story.
Freshman year of high school, I had an older cousin. She had the original 1985 Jordan 1s. I think they're actually in here.
Yep.
And she said, you can borrow them. They were like size 7.5 or 8. So my feet were hurting. And so I wear these to school, like the first month of school. And so I didn't realize how special these shoes were. And so just walking through the hallways, he had an older brother. So, I knew all his friends that they played football and soccer. And so everyone was just like looking at me in the hallways like, yo, where'd you get those shoes? Mm-hmm. And it just like, it felt good.
Yeah.
And for me, that's how I started to connect with people, through what I wore. So fashion, sneakers, clothing. And that's really, that's really what started with the sneakers, of like what's on my feet to connect with other people.
But were you interested in design back then, or just rocking it? So
I was interested in design since I was like 5 years old, building.
Yeah.
Building, architecture. As a kid, I was building rotating closets. Like, this is high school.
Wow.
And even earlier, I grew up, our next door neighbor growing up, he was a contractor. Mm-hmm. So I'd go to the job sites with him and just sit there and watch him cut and drill wood and just like be enamored by like, damn, like, what is this? And then, that's why we're in this space right now, because I love building. It's not just shoes and art or design. It's just, I like building.
Right.
So yeah, as a young kid, I was interior decorating my bedroom. Like my parents questioned me many times, like, what's wrong with this kid? But yeah, rotating closets, 2-story forts in my backyard, underground forts in my backyard that I made from the ages of 12 and 15 with my own hands, with a hammer, nails, and screws.
Damn, so you were being on some Mason shit.
Yeah. Yeah,
builder.
It's just inside. I don't know what it is, but it's just inside me. Just building.
Yeah, that's dope. So the genius of design has always been an innate thing for you, and the sneaker game was the way to connect on the fashion tip. And you put those things together, and then you started creating design, like customization.
Yeah, even before the sneaker, I got into clothing, right? Because just dressing up was cool, and so I have a home sewing machine up there. My grandmother bought me. I started sewing T-shirts, inlays, cutting them up and sewing them. And this is even before shoes. And then the shoes came, where it was just like this extra layer of like, damn, once you have the shoes, it's like the whole package. And so I started painting shoes, 16 years old, while I was sewing. And I sewed my prom tux. I made a full camouflage prom tux, which, I think that came from Little John.
Yeah.
And Usher, which then I had a full circle moment, 2 years ago for the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
But just always loved making things. And then I realized that shoes were my canvas. And so whatever I did to them, I could make them my version.
So you said you started customizing them with airbrush or painting?
The first shoe I ever painted before middle school Sharpie, I did an airbrush. Mm-hmm. I airbrushed an all white mid, all camouflage. I just got a cheap airbrush from Michael's or Joann's and just started. I went on it, and I went to school. And when I went to school, I got that same reaction. Like, where'd you get those? Yeah. And I was like, oh, I made them.
That's dope.
And so the paint fell off. And so I went back to the drawing board and became obsessed with quality and functionality rather than just the art.
Yeah. Because I remember growing up in the 90s, having crews like Bell Biv DeVoe, they would rock the airbrush fucking overalls. Remember that?
Yep.
And so seeing that on sneakers, like, you were one of the first, probably like the pioneer of customization. Because I just remember you started customization, like late 90s, early 2000s?
Yeah. Or 2000s? I graduated in 2004, so I'd say 2000.
Yeah.
2000. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't say the pioneer. I think the guy that took the torch and really took it to the next level. I really had people that I looked up to.
Like who?
Sabotage, who's still around.
Okay.
He's an OG. He's amazing. C. Williams. This guy's from Toronto. He was doing like Drake stuff when Drake just started. And when he was doing it, it was like Sabotage was amazing. He was doing paint and really intricate paint jobs. And then there's Methamphibian, which Methamphibian was actually with Ben Baller. And
Shout out to Ben Baller.
Ben told me that whole story, which was really cool. But yeah, C. Williams was this guy that was bringing these shoes to like cobblers and customizing them. And so this was like Nike Talk.
Yeah.
This was blogs, dial-up internet. And I'm like scrapping the internet, just trying to figure like things out. And so I put all of these things together and then just started like going after it. Like, I want to do that, but I want to do it my way. And I want to learn that. And I want to learn this. And it's like, you know, it's like trying to find your sound in music or whatever it is you're doing in art. And I just kept learning. It was pretty much my own schooling.
Yeah. Who was your first major celebrity that you worked with?
will.i.am.
That's just dope, bro. Shout out to Will.
Shout out to will.i.am.
Wow.
Shout out to Javier Laval.
Yep.
He made that call. We became friends. And he's like, so I reached out to Javier. So to go back, I was up in Northern California. I was the guy that did shoes, all the DJs, you know, all these Vegas celebrities. But, you know, and then I reached out to Javier on Facebook and he had Android Home at the time.
Yeah.
And as a kid, like all I knew about was Nike, Adidas, Louis Vuitton. Like that was like what I knew. And so when I found out about Black Scale, shout out to Mega, and Android Home, they had a collaboration. And then I just became obsessed with, you know, Android Home. And so I reached out to him. I just like reaching out to people. Like I like connecting.
Yeah.
And I reached out to him and we just built a relationship, and he hit me, you know, a year later and he's like, yo, I got to do these shoes for the VMAs. Can you do it? And I'm like 21 or 22. I'm just like, whatever. I don't care. Like it wasn't that big of a deal, but it was. But I did like an all-nighter, drove him down to LA, delivered him. When I delivered him, that's when he was with Bieber's stylist, and I started doing all of Bieber's stuff at that time too. So,
and that's when you started getting more momentum, huh?
Yeah.
But this vision of what you have now, like, did you ever think that you were going to scale to this big?
Yeah, I did. I lived in Charlotte when I was 18 years old. I had family out there, and I was working at the front desk of a No Fear store. And this store was all No Fear stuff, but like I would bring my shoes in. And when I was in there, I had a notebook. I just wrote everything down. I want to be the best customizer. I want to have a laser machine. I want to have an embroidery machine. I want to have, you know, and then of course, over time, like it kept evolving the vision, because then I saw Rob Dyrdek's Fantasy Factory. I'm like, I want to do that, but I want to do it my way. And so, yeah, not, you know, you don't know the exact path, but you do know what you were going towards.
Right. I love the fact that you started with clothes because you like rocking dope gear, and then you went from like, yo, I like these kicks. Now I'm gonna turn it into a semi-business. The fact that we can be dreamers and visionaries and implement those dreams, but actually like work hard, because there wasn't no social media. You're talking about Facebook, bro. So that Instagram, you know, instant reaction wasn't there.
That took some time.
It took some time, yeah. Talk about the work that it took to get there, because I want the viewers to understand that there was a work that it wasn't just overnight.
Yeah, that's I definitely get the work ethic from my parents. And as a kid, you don't realize, like, my parents opened a restaurant my freshman year of high school. So I didn't see them in high school.
Yeah.
They opened a restaurant that was open till 2 a.m. But I saw my parents get a loan to build this dream together as a kid. And so that's where I think this all comes from too, is like, they put everything to do this. I thought it was normal. As a kid, when you see something, you're just like, oh, that just is what it is. Like my kids coming in here now, they're like, this is normal to them, right? So they need more. But So yeah, now my dad, we have a family deli in Northern California called Canaveri's. It's a 100-year-old handmade ravioli deli.
Wow.
And so I have my daughter in there rolling meatballs, my son making cannolis, and my dad's still there.
We got to take a trip. Yeah.
Oh, you guys, we got to go up to Sonoma County. It's better than Napa. Sonoma County is the best, one of the best areas in California, period. But shout out to Guy Fieri, who was kind of like a guy that came from Santa Rosa.
Oh, that's dope.
He was like the guy. I mean, he's the guy that came out of Santa Rosa. And as a kid, you know, you see someone on TV that they made it. And so he was someone like, damn, if he can do it, I can do it. But since I was a kid, like when I moved to North Carolina, I just started learning. I went to a leather place. I started learning about leather, started, making shoes for local people. Then I brought a shoe to a shoe repair shop and I said, hey, can you sew this? And they said, yeah. Come back in 3 days. And so I go back and it's done. And I'm like, shit, if they can do it, I can do it.
Mm-hmm.
I moved back to Northern California because I got in trouble out there. And then I started looking for shoe repair shops. Because as a kid, I didn't know what a shoe repair shop was. And the first guy I went to, he cursed me away. He's like, get out of here. You're going to steal all my business. And, I'm 18 years old.
Right.
And as a kid, you just, you get angry because you're like, how can someone, turn me down? I'm just trying to learn. And so the same day I went to another shoe repair shop and that guy was busy. If you've been to a shoe repair shop, it's they're up to their walls. There's glue everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
The guy was smoking a cigarette and it's a lot of work. Like RIP to the man. But and then the third guy, Daryl Fazio, that's when I really made a connection and I went in there. I just said, I want to do this and that. Like I want to make shoes like this. And he's like, well, you should buy this machine. Like, this is the machine. I'll help you find it. And then he helped me find it. And then I said, hey, can I learn from you? And he said, well, no, because you could be a liability. And I'm like, I don't know what that means.
Right.
And so I kept going back. Finally, he was like, this kid wants to learn. So then I started watching him. I started fixing purses. I started fixing boots. And I just started like doing work for free just to learn,
mm-hmm.
right? So that was the trade-off.
Say that again. You did what?
I did work for free to learn.
See, that's the lost art right there. I tell all these kids, the amount of free work I did to get my fucking face. I didn't have a dad that could walk me into these relationships. I didn't come from the money to get me in. I had to go prove myself. And so the fact that you said that, I tell these kids, go get the experience, go learn.
Yeah.
Do it for free. Prove yourself.
Opportunity is worth more than $1.
Fact.
And so, yeah, I think the kids have it differently now too, for sure. Like I feel like just because we did it one way doesn't mean it has to be done that way.
Sure.
But there's things that are missing, and then there's
fundamentals.
Yeah.
The fundamentals are missing.
Yeah.
That work ethic that you're talking about. You're like, I kept going back. The guy kept kicking me out. I kept going back because I loved it enough to know that he could teach me something.
Well, I think the persistence of not taking no for an answer.
Oh, yeah.
And whether it was like, nah, not right now, kid, I'm gonna show you that I'm gonna show up. Even if you're not giving me a 100% yes, I'm gonna show up because I want to show you that I'm invested in this.
But I know my kids will be like, Dad, I went. They didn't.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
It's true. It's true.
He said, fucking get out of my shop.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, did you go back? No. But it's like, you got to go back.
Right. Top 3 shoes from your childhood. Sneakers.
I mean, I got to give it to the Jordan 1, 85 specifically. Data Supremes, because I had those in middle school. I'd go shopping at like Marshalls and Ross and get shoes discounted. And so I got these Data Supremes and like Sharpied them with all orange. And so that's just embedded in my head. And then, I don't know, I guess I would say, I remember the Adidas Rod Laver. Like, so me as a kid, like my friends had the Jordans or the Iversons. Pretty much that was it.
Right? The zipper Iversons, the one that zip up the middle?
Yeah, all the different ones. Those ones.
The red toes.
Yeah.
The questions.
Yeah, the questions. All of them. They had all of them. I never got into Iversons because I wasn't a ball player. I play soccer. So, but
He played in the Gold Cup.
I saw
right?
That. Yeah.
And I'm driving the golf cart to the car the other day with some shit.
I'm limping over there.
And I turn around. He's like, I didn't even have a fucking golf cart. I'm like, yeah, I got to drive. And he's like, take me to my car. And we drive like 20 feet to get to his car. But he was hurting.
Yeah,
he was
he was going in.
Oh, he was in the hurt locker, man. He was limping.
Acting like you're 20.
But did you have
half
fun?
was strong.
Did you have fun?
Of course I had fun.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be there if I didn't have fun.
Soccer's your game. And how cool was it playing with some of these people that you got to like watch on TV or admire?
I think Mia Hamm's all-time great. And then, to be with Alex Morgan at this point of her life. I mean, I know how do you say his name? Cervante.
Yeah.
But it's just cool because I also have nieces that play high-level soccer.
That's dope.
So it's less about me. It's like, let me show the people around me that anything is possible.
Did you bring your nieces with you?
Not that one game. But I got her to meet her when they beat Brazil in like a CONCACAF game or something.
That's dope.
And so that's, and then it unlocked the whole, women's soccer, which is, it's just phenomenal to watch and then to inspire and then to it's an amazing game, to get back into it.
It's pretty dope to see Dennis Rodman's daughter be the highest paid soccer player.
Yeah. She's a beast.
Yeah, she's a beast.
Yeah, she cashed a check. They're changing the game. It's really cool to see the women's game come far. Obviously Diana Taurasi was at the
shout out
game.
to Diana
She's
Taurasi.
the best.
She's dope.
DT's cool.
She's the best.
Yeah, but then her agent also works with Paige Buchers, and so we were talking about her too and how they're really kind of the same person.
Yeah.
And how she's changing the game, but Diana kind of paved that way. So it's kind of cool to do this game where Mia kind of paved the way for the Alexes, and now you got the Trinity Rodmans coming behind them to,
Shout out to women in sports, bro.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts about the World Cup in Los Angeles?
We need that energy again, right? The World Cup's in Canada, LA, or the US and Mexico. So it's like, it's really cool to see it, to be here, to live here, to grow up living that sport. To the beginning of the end of last year, I made World Cup soccer balls. I mean, into sneakers. And so it's just, it's a really good time. Because, I mean, you started coming here when we started doing the pickups.
Yeah. I mean, all that kind of was, I think, image-wise, it was from the association that we played in. Remember, we played in that together.
Yeah.
Oh, and that was, where we met. And remember, when you first came here, it was like, when he first moved into this building, I came to do a walkthrough with you. And it was just, this was all a shell.
Yeah, this was like low ceiling.
Yeah,
like we got photos and videos. It's crazy.
None of these glass walls and bookshelves and.
What was it before?
It was just a shell.
It was a sewing studio.
Oh, okay.
It was just a shitty old sewing spot.
Yeah, and then he was like, "Yo, come with me. We're gonna check out the spot." And he was, "I'm gonna do this." One time, you wanted a barber shop in here, and you wanted other things, a podcast studio, which is interesting. Now we're doing a podcast.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted everything. It's just a matter of like what's actually makes sense to do.
Yep.
Like, I want to put a full gym in here, sauna, steam. I want to make this a one-stop shop for me. Like, it starts with me. Like, what do I need? What do I want? Like, I want to put a music studio upstairs. There's actually a music studio coming. Next All-Star Weekend is going to be in this room. There's going to be a music studio.
That's dope.
You know what I mean? So it's like all of these things are happening, just not exactly how you think, but it's like, that's the vision. Like, I want a spot where creatives can come. They can, and for me, it's also sport, right? Like, I grew up playing sports. Like, I wasn't a skater. I'm not talented like that, but like, I loved playing high-level soccer. And so now to be able to play high level still, or, high-ish level, right? It's still high level. Like, we play with pros, ex-pros. It feels good as a creative that, did something great in another category to like go rub shoulders with pros and be like, damn, you did it just differently.
That's
what I mean?
I love that because it shows that no matter what discipline you have or are, that you can always continue dreaming. Like, if you're, even though you made it in this medium, you will always have love for soccer. I feel the same way about baseball. Like, I love playing baseball. I dreamt of being a baseball player, a professional baseball player, but I chose Black Eyed Peas, chose right, but I always have love for playing baseball.
What's the biggest, like, moment like that moment where it like really changed the game for you, Dom? Obviously, you've been in this game a long time. You've done a lot of cool shit. I've witnessed a lot of it firsthand. But what was that moment that was like, oh, damn, I'm him? And this is where you get to brag a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, no, for sure. But this comes in time and like different levels and ego checking.
Mm-hmm.
And, I remember at 23 years old, I was doing shoes for Bieber and I was in a small town. I was the shit. I thought I was the shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then went through some mental health shit and it like slapped me in the face of like, you're not the shit.
Mm-hmm.
And so it humbled me, and I've been humbled so many times, and you still get humbled. And so moving to LA and just busting my ass, but even like to answer your question, it's like it's right now. It's the present moment, because it's like the beginning of this. It's not even this year. Like how I ended last year into this year, night and day of how I was 3 years last year.
Yeah.
As an artist and a crazy artist. Like most humans, things aren't ever good enough. Things were never good enough for me. Like I was sitting in this room for a long time of like depressed because I didn't like that tile.
Mm-hmm.
I was complaining about this.
The chandelier.
Like,
you don't like it?
I love it. Now.
Oh, you put it in my car, I'll take it home.
No, this is Dallas's. But like these are just all these little details that you can get caught up in on perfectionism that is pretty much just your own story that you get to choose how you envision it. So what I'm saying is like, so I was very unhappy. I'd make shoes. This space I was unhappy about. It's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
LeBron James, it's like, great, I did it. Now what? Done. Like, okay, I'm cool. I didn't even take it in of like, wow, you're like, God bless you.
That's the theme of today. Like, what did you say earlier about Super Bowl?
Yeah. About being present and like really being in the moment.
You say you didn't enjoy it because
enjoying it. Yeah. So we're talking about like moments that we could wish that we could take back because we didn't embellish in it. Like I performed at the Super Bowl in 2011 and I was so busy working the Super Bowl that I didn't get to be like, yo, let me take some pictures. Let me actually be there.
Whatever it is, yeah.
Yeah, whatever. Like really immerse myself in the moment. Because it was like run and gun, and then it was over.
That's interesting you say that, because when I was at the Super Bowl 2 or 3 years ago for Usher, that was halftime. I started crying to be proud of myself, to feel like all of give myself the love and the praise that me and the team deserve of like, damn, this is a full circle moment. You made this happen. Like we made this happen. It's like, the crying is just an emotional way to be connected to yourself. So I understand we get caught up in the work of just the doing rather than the being.
Exactly. And I like what you said earlier about shedding ego and sometimes getting reality checks. Like for me, it was battling cancer in 2014, where I had to let go of self, and it was me against mortality. Had nothing to do with my job, no success, no glitz or glamour. It was like me battling cancer. And I've been talking about it all day because it's therapeutic and it helps me on my journey. And I need to pose this to the world because I want to continue championing the idea of survivorship. And for me, that was the moment of clarity. It was a moment of surrendering ego, because I was like, yo, dude, if I die, I'm not taking this shit with me.
Nope.
So what do I value in life? And that's my wife and my kids and my family. And my job is secondary, because I always think, what if I would have never put my health secondary to my job? I probably would have avoided having cancer. But because I was so on the go, I had this pain. I was like, nah, I'll tour. It's cool. And it just kept growing, bro. And so I didn't listen to my body, but I had to go through it to understand a higher purpose and really understanding my story.
And you're still here. So that's the most important
Yes,
part.
sir.
Right.
Yep.
And that's why I rep the snake, right? Python, I did Python Jordans. And so I didn't understand why the snake kept coming up for me. Like I had friends pull tarot cards and all this stuff, and the snake keeps coming up. And when originally when I was younger, you think snake is a negative thing, right? Because in the Bible, it's actually has a negative connotation. But if you actually look at it in another perspective, it's shedding skin, You know what I mean? It's like you're regrowing, you're rebirth, newness, right? Over and over. That's what shedding is. So just like the shedding the ego, it's like that. It's not just, you don't just shed your ego once, you keep doing it.
Yeah. I mean, I had that also when I became sober, bro. Like I could have easily went the route of the typical artist, musician that's overindulging in success and fame and, you know, the toxic ways that I felt like when I became, you know, clear-headed, I shed that part of me. And then when I battled cancer, that was another part of me. And now it just keeps on understanding that Creator puts these moments in front of me to understand that the big, what did I say earlier, B? The minor setback for a bigger comeback.
Yeah. This really comes down to values, right? And our value system changes.
Yep.
Right? When we started, it was fame or I just heard Tony Robbins talking about this one, but it's like we wanted likeness, right? We wanted to be loved.
Yeah.
And we did it through our art or whatever it may be. And then once you get there, you realize that's not what you wanted.
Exactly.
And so you have to keep going. And even today, now we have kids, it's like, oh shit, you're humbled even more.
Right.
But what are your value systems? What were they then? And they have to change. They have to keep changing. You have to keep evolving.
Yeah. I kind of feel like because I had kids, I had my son at 17 and I didn't understand parenting at the time because I was a kid myself. But as I started to grow and understand the ability of becoming a better version of myself each day, I started prioritizing like my craft and understanding the beauty that it is creating new journeys like this podcast.
Yeah.
You know, and I look at like what you said earlier about like, dude, I love where I'm at this present, in this day. Because last year I was affected by the fires. 1 year later, I'm doing this podcast.
Altadena, right?
Yeah, Altadena. So I'm here being able to have this testimony, but also like this resilience, this healing, this form of therapy that has allowed me to now have guests like yourself, you know, join us in this podcast and share a little bit of our freaking wins, but also our humility and our human side.
Yep.
Because a lot of people see the talent, but they don't get to really understand the human side. What was a moment in your life that you felt like, damn, it's me against the world?
I mean, my whole childhood. I had 3 brothers, 1 older brother, 2 younger brothers. And my older brother came out dark hair, dark skin. I came out blue eyes, blonde hair, white skin. So I didn't look like I fit in. And then my other brothers were darker skin too. And so my whole childhood, I'm just like, I felt like the black sheep.
Right.
And so I was like, for whatever reason, I was like, I need to prove myself for myself. And I think a lot of it did come from insecurity, right? Because as a kid, you're taking all this information in, which now I'm, looking at how I'm parenting my children to figure out how to communicate where, I hear my daughter 2 days ago say something like, you don't even care about me because you're doing this with your brother or with her brother. And it's like, what we do is we make up stories, right? A kid sees you talking to someone else, they're going to make up a story. And if you don't know how to build that communication and that bond with them, then they're going to be that story is going to be a belief system, and then it turns into a trauma, and then it just keeps going. So yeah, since I was a kid, man, it was just me against the world. And I think more recently I realized I don't need to do it alone. But even when I wanted to build a team at a younger age, I knew that all of this needed to happen with a team. But yeah, we don't need to do this alone.
No. And I got to shout out my team, Mateo, Brian, Caesar, Jazzy. You guys keep me dreaming, aspiring to get better each time that we do these podcasts. And it's just like, it's a blessing to be part of this team. Yeah. So I want to say thank you guys. I know you guys are behind the scenes, but I want to give you your flowers, Mateo, because you're an amazing freaking asset to our team. Jazzy, Caesar, Brian. Sometimes we got to take time to acknowledge our team.
Yeah, team.
You can't do it alone.
You can't.
It takes a team, and you can do it alone, but like you said, you'll burn yourself out, and it's not
sustainable.
No, it's not sustainable. But just watching your journey, Dom, it's been dope to see What is something that you haven't done yet that you're hoping to do? I mean, you've done fucking a collab with Bentley. You've done collabs with the biggest athletes in the world. You got clothing that's killing it. What is something you haven't done? I mean, you got the Can-Ams outside that I still want to take for a ride,
Yeah, we
but
should.
I think
Let's
I'll
go
get fired. It was Bentley, right? Not Rolls Royce?
Yep.
Bentley, okay.
Yeah. Bentley's a better car.
I just want to make
Bentley's
sure.
a better drive.
I wanted to make sure.
Bentley.
Oh.
Look, let me be honest on this one. This goes back to me being unhappy and not have gratitude. The Bentley thing came in. I was unhappy. I look at one of my close friends and I'm like, fuck, I gotta do a Bentley collab. This is real life for me. This was what, 3-4 years ago. Anyone you say I have a Bentley collab and they're fucking unhappy, you want to slap the guy? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Right? Like, so I look at my friend, I'm like, oh man, I wish it was Porsche. And he looks at me and he's like, yeah. And I'm like, you know what? You're right. Like, what am I complaining about? This is what people do, right? Whether you have it all or not, and if you don't change your perspective and look at something in a different light, like you can live unhappy forever. Which then, if you live unhappy, you live in stress, then you get sick and all of that. So that one was such an amazing one. What haven't I done? I want to build a car from scratch, completely from scratch.
Like to sell or just for yourself?
For myself. This is how I do it. I build it for me and then it sells. Like that's just the way it works. Like I didn't make this stuff for anyone else. It started with me. Mm-hmm. I'm making music right now. I'm pausing because I got to make sure I stay focused.
What's your first single? Hickory Dickory Dock?
No, you'll be surprised.
Andrew Dice Clay.
He's gonna be in my music video. I already have a music video shot, but I just like making things.
Well, you're a creator.
Putting out an album just to do something, like to say I do it and do it. I don't care what the feedback is. I don't care what someone tells me it needs to be. But a car from scratch. I want to build hotels and houses. I want to continue to do interiors and architecture for people and design on a different level. And then, the schools. Like someone asked me, what's your favorite collab? Like, cool, I've done Bentley, LeBron, all of these amazing brands, which I'm so grateful for. And when the kids come in that have nothing, that want to learn something, that then they can take it and make money or learn something from it, like, that's fulfilling.
That's your give back.
That's beautiful.
And so the more I can do for not just kids, humans in general. Right.
Can I go back to the World Cup?
I would love to go back to the World Cup because he loves soccer.
I know, and I want to say that was a moment when I was present. I performed in South Africa.
94. What year was that?
It was.
No, he did more recent, but 94 is the last time it was here.
We did it with Shakira in South Africa.
Wow.
And it was monumental. It was. I mean, bro, like the love that we got in
What
South
stadium were you guys at?
I forgot. It was like...
How many people were there?
It's World Cup.
It's World Cup. It was big, bro. It was big.
But when the World Cup, it's like there's different host cities too, and each stadium holds different people. Like
I want to say it was Joburg.
Yeah, because when you look at it's coming here, right, this year, it's like there's 16 different host cities, including Canada, Philly, and including Mexico.
Yeah.
Right? So like the Rose Bowl holds 100,000, but somewhere in Chicago might hold 60,000.
Yeah.
Can I say that the World Cup, because it was so international, it spoke to our group more than the NFL demographic.
That makes sense.
You know what I'm saying?
It makes sense because of what you guys were.
Yeah, it was the international appeal of the group and the longevity and the catalog that speaks to the world. And that's why it was so satisfying because, yes, we did the NFL, but the NFL is so fickle at that time that as much criticism, the love, it didn't balance itself. But around the world, when we did the World Cup, it was all love.
You know what the crazy part is? The Super Bowl is big for one day. The World Cup is like 30 Super Bowls every day. Yeah. Because did you go to the World Cup when it was here in '94?
No.
So I went to 6 games at the Rose Bowl.
Maradona?
And Diego Maradona was playing.
Really?
Sick.
Right?
Yeah.
The World Cup truly saved my life. what year was this? I was 25, 26.
16 years ago?
Yeah.
So wherever that was. What was it, Brazil?
I can't tell you where, but it was this thing where I was stopped playing soccer for a while. I was unhealthy You know, I was this crazy artist, like in the garage, just making things, sniffing glue, like, you know, just being unhealthy. You know what I mean? Like, and so
casually says sniffing glue.
And so this was my second time. I was in the mental hospital twice. And so on lithium and all of these mood stabilizers, and the World Cup was happening. And because of that, all my homies and friends and brothers were like, let's just go play pickup. And then it became competitive because that's what you do, right? Yeah. And it was just like being active and outdoor and then with people, like it saves our lives.
Yeah.
And so World Cup at that time really saved my life, you know? So yeah, so this is like a real surreal moment for it to come back and then work with FIFA and to you know, actually my goal should be to make some cleats for someone to play in.
Yeah, that'll be fresh. Your first athlete was Odell Beckham?
No, who was my? Oh, like in-game pair?
Mm-hmm. In-game, yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, Odell. No, I mean he was the first. He was me and him together, like, you know, kicked it up a notch, but there's for sure like another person.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was doing so much before all of this stuff. So back to your thing of work is like, you know, it just felt like endless work to get to this point.
Exactly. And you're just pumping them out, and it's like all these different athletes and
me sending emails, texting, posting photos, making the shoe, freaking out because the quality's not good enough, and so doing.
And it was just you by yourself before you had the team.
Yes, I started by myself.
Can I just say the idea of being part of this factory? This is like Willy Wonka's factory here.
I love Willy Wonka, so this
Me
for
too.
sure.
Yeah, this is what it feels like, bro. When I walk in here, I always feel the energy of like making some dope shit. I want to create shit. I want to answer your question, B. You asked him the question. Can you ask me the question?
Which question was that?
The one about what do you want to do?
I asked a lot of questions.
No, what have you done? What haven't you done that you want to do?
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say, what have you done lately?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So, I mean, that's a good question. It's a fair question for both of you guys because you both have reached in your own categories the pinnacle. A Super Bowl. You've worked with the biggest stars and brands in the world.
I actually have 4 Super Bowl touchdowns in my cleats. Yeah. And so I'm going for another one for Cooper Kupp.
Are you going to do some cleats for him for Super Bowl?
Yep.
He could probably get one.
He will get one.
He's not going to.
He had 2 in LA. Odell had 1. AJ Brown had 1. And I had Usher. Like, I got Super Bowls too. I just need the ring. I just need the rings.
I just need the rings.
Yeah, differently. So what's something that you haven't done that you'd love to do?
Because I was talking to Dom about Angry Foot earlier. I really want to be able to bring that to life. I see.
You're going to, yep.
I see this indigenous superhero not as a villain or antagonist the way that they had him in Black Panther, but to actually be a lead, be number 1 on the call sheet, the character embodying what it's like to be an LA urban native storyteller that came from, you know, the humble beginnings as a b-boy breaker that loved freaking Mortal Kombat and freaking Tekken, Eddie Gordo, Capoeira, and all these different styles. But it was rooted in storytelling. And I feel like that's a goal of mine as a storyteller, to be able to bring that to the masses where we actually have representation to indigenous kids. They could see themselves in these heroes in mainstream media.
I got a question for you, Dom. One of your slogans, trust the process. What's been the hardest part at times of trusting the process?
I think it's learning to trust yourself first. And when you aren't fully connected to yourself, it's hard to mistrust yourself. And so trusting the process helps you get to that point, because if you just focus by moment and, you know, I just need to get this done to then get to that. So it's all about the process, not the end goal, not the end result. And once you trust the process and then love the process, maybe that's why Kobe was the greatest. You know what I mean?
Classic.
He was obsessed with the process. And because he became obsessed with the process, he was the best, right? And so trusting the process is just like, is that you got to understand it's about the process. And, you know, when I started, it wasn't about that. It just happened. I had to go through it because I needed that process to get to the product. And so, yeah, it's, you know, to try to find perfection is not attainable. And if you continue to go and look for, like, try things to get things perfect, you go crazy. And so you got to trust the process. And the more you do it, the more this is facts. The more you do something, the better you get.
Yep.
It just is
repetition.
And as a kid, me being this crazy like artist with big dreams that was, diagnosed bipolar and just fucking crazy. I never thought there's a part of me that didn't believe in myself. Like, fuck, you're never going to be good enough. You're never going to be good enough. Like that voice was in my head. It could have came from my parents, my dad yelling at me, whatever it is. It was a made up story. And so I had to overcome that by just doing. There was something inside of me that I had to keep doing it to get better.
You brought up Kobe again. I think this is maybe like a place we get your top 5 hoopers of all time.
I mean, I don't care about sports.
Okay. Your top 5 athletes of all time.
No, but I say that humbly in the sense of like, I fell in love with sports again because when after high school, I stopped playing soccer and it was obsession in fabric, shoes, just trying to make shoes, right?
Yeah.
And so everything else didn't matter to me. Super Bowls and all this shit didn't matter to me. I could care less. I didn't know who played. All my brothers knew who was playing, who's the best, stats and all this stuff. And it's like, I don't care. I'm building my craft. And so then the better I became, then the athletes got attracted to what I was building, right? So then and this is like and then I don't remember who the first athlete was, PJ Tucker or someone, but then it was like
PJ Tucker would make sense.
No, yeah, for sure. But it was a full circle moment because I'm like, oh, I get it. I'm an athlete in a different way, right? I'm not out there showing up, being the best at that. This is my sport. And so to answer your question, who's the top 5, you said? Yeah. Hoopers? Now that I'm actually like back in it, I mean, PJ Tucker, because it's not based on just, there's so much athleticism and being a professional athlete is more than just being the best, right? So I would say PJ Tucker, just because his energy and what he did for the sneaker culture and the game, like there's things that athletes can do that they do, even if they're not the best, most pinnacle person in that sport, like they change the game. Muggsy Bogues.
Classic.
Charlotte. I lived in Charlotte for a year.
That makes sense. You go back to Charlotte. Him and Larry Johnson. Yeah. Grandmama.
Yep. And Alonzo Mourning.
Yeah.
Zoe was on that team. Yeah.
But yeah, look, I grew up with Chris Mullin. Like my dad, huge Golden State Warriors.
From New York. New Yorker.
And he's part of the dream team.
Yeah. Syracuse.
Oh, yeah, he was.
Yeah, he's part of the dream team.
I mean, Michael Jordan, come on.
Yeah, MJ.
Yeah. That's 4. Kobe, I never had that. I never had a connection to him because when he played, like I didn't, at the end, watching. I was already like now coming back into the sport, but like I love that he played football, soccer. Mm-hmm. But man, there's too many hoopers, right?
Well, that's 5, I guess, right?
Yeah. Yeah. But athletes, it's the same thing. It's I don't care who wins a Super Bowl unless it's a client or a friend, right? Like it's not about, for me, like the team. I'm from the Bay or the North Bay, you say, or the northern.
Well, I think it's geography. If you're from anywhere but the Bay, you would just say the Bay. Mm-hmm. But if you're from the Bay, you're going to be more specific about your geography.
Yeah. Top 3 favorite MCs.
Like actual MCs?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like that speak to you. That's your go-to. Like who are the 3 MCs?
Now or then?
Whatever.
Yeah. Like, back then it was like, I was listening to Rick Ross and Drake. I was in my garage, doing, listening to Fat Joe. And then like these people then wanted shoes from me. Right. So that for me was it. I just had those albums on repeat while I was like trying to making shoes for Justin Bieber, like just trying to like make it, listening to their music. So their music gave me energy. It was like this like infinite circle where then I'm making shoes for them. And it's
you're bumping a lot of Bieber back then? Baby.
No, but I, go back to that ego trip. I was like, I went to like Hot Topic and bought like the Justin Bieber shirt and I would wear it out in the club,
To create the connection.
Yeah, just to be like the cool guy.
Yeah.
I mean, his story is amazing. I got to know so much about like your history and just where you're at in life. And thank you for sharing like even the vulnerable part of you.
That's always hard. Yeah.
Go ahead.
What's been the hardest part? Because, I've seen you I've known you a long time, and you've built an amazing team. You know, shout out to Dallas, shout out to Veronica, shout out to your whole team. They're awesome people. What's been the hardest part about building the team?
Hardest part is like, I would say giving up control. Giving up control when you
it's your baby.
When you built something from the ground up and like you think it has to be your way, it's not true. You know, there's definitely standards that you want to keep, but at the same time, it's like to build the team, you got to let go of control and empower people, and you know that they can have a lot of love for it too. But when you like, when it's your baby, like that's hard, is to let go of the control.
Well, to your point earlier when you said Kobe had to trust his teammates, that why am I going to pass you the ball if you ain't working in the gym as hard as me?
Yeah.
If you're not,
that's where the trust is built.
That's where the trust comes in. And Michael Jordan did the same thing because he was always scoring. He's like scoring, 30, 40 a night. Phil Jackson's like, yo, why don't you score 20 and get some assists and empower your team?
I'll give you an example. Mateo, a shout out to Mateo, our engineer. Like, I trust him now.
Yes.
Because I see how hard he works for us. He'll stay up till 2 or 3 in the morning finishing an episode for a 4 a.m. release. He's grinding. I mean, he'll do 3-hour pickleball tournaments right in the middle of the day, but he grinds his face off. You know what I mean? And so I trust him now. So I feel safe with him doing what he does. I don't. In the beginning,
you got to go through the trenches with each other.
You got to go through the trenches with those people.
You got to put each other through it. You know what I mean?
How many shoes do you own? I'm asking the shoe surgeon how many shoes you own.
You know what? It kind of grosses me out because he can make them and he can do them whenever he wants. That I've seen pairs that he's made for me, and he's just like trashing them, fucking kicking shit in them. And I'm just like,
when I moved to LA, I had like 4 pairs of shoes because it was about making them, not like wearing them. And then I started making more. And I was like, oh, you got to be in your own work, right? You're in LA, you know. And then people started sending me shoes. So I have closets and closets full of shoes. I would say a few hundred, and it's rotating. And so right now and I've given so many away.
Yeah,
I've gifted so many, but less is more. And so it's about living with less.
By the way, thank you for the Python Birkenstock. Oh yeah, appreciate that.
We gotta do some turquoise ones.
Let's do it. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for Dominic Ciambroni. That's right, y'all. It's Taboo Nawasha, and I hope you enjoyed geeking out with me and going straight into geek mode. For more information, for more videos, subscribe, like, and comment. Share it with your friends. Much love. There it is.